Okay, so it is June 11th, and what an interesting year it's been. Uh, with yeah, just in general, it's been an interesting year. For bees, kind of same thing. So our nuke that we've been following, I'm just curious, see what's been happening here in our area is that the blackberries, which is our main flow for this time of the year, is they're starting to bloom, but we just have not had any good foraging weather, and so we're actually just in the process of mixing up a bunch of syrup to give to our splits that we made 2-3 weeks ago, just so they don't stall out on us. Okay, so this is the fourth box. They're starting to draw out a little bit, but like I said, they just have not had a chance to really do a lot of foraging with the way the weather's been. We've actually had quite a bit of problem with robbing bees trying to get into our warehouse and rob, which, you know, for this time of year with the everything blooming the way it is, you realize it's just because they haven't been having an opportunity to forage. So okay, so what I'm seeing here, if you notice on the top of this top super, there's no white wax being built, which is a sign of the bees being stimulated by a flow. Also too, when I'm tipping this back, it's light. I mean, you can tell they really haven't been. If I just tip it up like this, I can tell that they've put some in there, but it's not filled. Also too, I mean, obviously pulled a center frame. Bees are most prone to fill out your center frames first, and the center frames are just starting to get worked on foundation. So we're going to close that up and let them be, no pun intended of course, because I have no sense of humor. And we'll go over to the split that we made. Of course, smoker goes out. We may not need it. Okay, once again, here we got a beautiful a group of bees here, and I probably should use maybe I can fake them out here. Well, I guess there's a little bit of smoke. Here we go. Aha, there we go. Smoker always starts when you least need it. So just even when I'm looking down these frames here, I can see that they've got brood. They've drawn this new frame out well and have brood in it. I can also look down these two frames and see that they haven't really gotten to those yet. Once again, lack of flow, or the flow the flow is there to be had, but we just haven't had the weather for them to take advantage of it. But I mean, that's beautiful, getting all drawn out. Let's see here. Try to manipulate with one hand. I thought they had brood, but this is pollen, honey. Cool. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm not gonna disturb them more than what I have to. So really, the big thing is, and here's the thing to watch for if you're in our area this year, is that there is a lot of foraging opportunity out there. Another quick note: bees on the lid, just take them, shake them off at the entrance, give them a good jar so you're not crushing them. When you crush bees, the other bees that have to come clean them up obviously use their mouth, and it can just help spread viral issues or whatever, if there's any existent. Anyways, so the thing that we're having to watch for now is just there's a lot to forage on, but they haven't had the weather to do so. And so I can't remember what the extended forecast is saying, but if we get a stretch of sunny days, don't underestimate how quickly bees can draw out a box and fill it with honey. So just keep an eye for that. There is also a possibility too for any bees that were crowded going into this last week and a half, 2 weeks of rain that we've been getting. There is a possibility of them getting a swarm impulse if you haven't given them enough room. And so keep an eye out for that as well. But otherwise, here we are to hoping that the weather gets conducive enough for us to be able to take advantage of this nectar flow that is definitely there. We just haven't had a chance to take advantage of it. For those of you who may not know, you kind of need a balance of moisture that allows the plants to not be stressed, so they produce nectar, they blossom, and that the blossoms are longer than they are shorter in lifespan. And you also, of course, need heat and sun for the bees to have good foraging weather. But if it dries out too soon or it gets too hot, that of course puts stress on the plants, and your nectar flow can be cut short. So just kind of weighing all that stuff, and that's kind of the nature of agriculture. So anyways, just to wrap up, double check some of your splits that you did may need to be fed. I would actually just say go ahead, feed them, especially if they're having to draw out new foundation. Just go ahead and give them those resources. And for those of you who have strong hives, maybe check them, make sure that they haven't gone into a swarm mode. I apologize, I'm multitasking here. And then lastly, for those of you who have good population of bees, but they just haven't brought in a flow yet, keep an eye on them if we get some good foraging weather. So anyways, I'll catch you again in a little bit.